Coming up on 5 Minute News. Dr. Fauci suggests flight vaccine mandate as Omicron causes travel chaos. LAPD to release video of police murder of 14-year-old girl. And Russian diplomats to hold security talks with US next month. It's Tuesday, December 28. I'm Anthony Davis. Skyrocketing COVID-19 cases hobbled US airline staff on Monday, causing hundreds of flight cancellations, and prompted the country's top infectious disease expert to suggest the government consider a vaccine mandate for domestic air travel. Monday's air travel woes capped a glum Christmas weekend for thousands of stranded passengers waiting in airport queues and on customer service phone lines to rebook flights, often days after originally planned. Rising infections from the Omicron variant forced airlines to cancel flights as pilots and cabin crew fell sick and needed to quarantine. A total of 1,130 flights to, within or out of the United States were cancelled by Monday afternoon. Airlines said the virus and bad weather both were to blame. The average number of new COVID-19 cases in the United States has risen 55% to over 205,000 per day over the last 7 days. In another instance of Omicron-induced travel misery, the CDC said on Monday it was investigating 68 cruise ships after reports of COVID-19 cases on board. On Monday, President Joe Biden pledged to ease a shortage of COVID-19 at-home tests. Biden said his administration's steps include the Defense Production Act to boost at-home test manufacturing and make it easier to use the Google search engine to find a nearby testing location. US and state officials are bracing for a wave of more cases following the Christmas holiday, with hospitalizations ticking up as the new year looms. The Los Angeles Police Department was due yesterday to release video in the case of an officer who shot and killed a 14-year-old girl inside a department store while firing at another person. Last week, LAPD Chief Michael Moore announced that the department would release body camera footage, 911 calls, radio transmissions, CCTV, and other case-related evidence. The 14-year-old victim has been identified as Valentina Orellana Peralta, according to the LA County Medical Examiner's Office, which ruled the death to be a homicide from a gunshot wound to the chest. Orellana Peralta died after being hit by a bullet which went through the wall of the dressing room at a Burlington Coat Factory store in North Hollywood last Thursday, as police officers responded to a call about an assault, officials said. She was pronounced dead at the scene. The officer involved was put on paid leave and has not been identified. When officers arrived, they also executed 24-year-old Daniel Elena Lopez, who was accused of assault, officials said. Police subsequently discovered a bullet hole in the dressing room wall, which was directly behind the suspect and out of the officer's view, the department said. Orellana Peralta had been shopping with her mother for a dress for a 15th birthday celebration. Both the California Attorney General's office and the California Department of Justice will be investigating the shooting. The killing has sparked outrage across the U.S. Domingo Garcia, president of the League of United Latin American Citizens, said in a statement, "It is indefensible that trained Los Angeles police officers could open fire in a crowded store at the height of Christmas shopping without first knowing for sure if the suspect was armed." LAPD killings have sharply increased this year. The department fatally shot 18 people in 2021, compared with 7 the year before. Russian diplomats and military officials will take part in talks with the United States next month on a list of security guarantees that Moscow wants from Washington, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said on Monday. Russia, which has unnerved the West with a troop build-up near Ukraine, last week unveiled a wish list of security proposals it wants to negotiate, including a promise NATO would give up any military activity in Eastern Europe and Ukraine. The United States and Ukraine say Russia may be preparing an invasion of its ex-Soviet neighbor. Russia denies that and says it is Ukraine's growing relationship with NATO that has caused the standoff to escalate. It has compared it to the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis, when the world came to the brink of nuclear war. President Vladimir Putin said on Thursday that Russia wanted to avoid conflict but needed an immediate response from the United States and its allies to its demands for security guarantees. Moscow has said it expects talks with US officials on the subject to start in January in Geneva. The United States, the European Union, and the Group of Seven have all warned Putin that he will face massive consequences, including tough economic sanctions in the event of any new Russian aggression. The Kremlin's demands contain elements such as an effective Russian veto on future NATO membership for Ukraine that the West has already ruled out. You can subscribe to 5-Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5-Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Subscribe, rate and review online at 5minute.news. 5-Minute News is an Evergreen Podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.